The West Tigers taking on the Raiders, Campbelltown Stadium. That game tonight at 8 p.m. That's why we've only got the Kiefer Sutherland. We haven't got the 6 o'clock game. For North Pole, or as Brian likes to call him, South Pole, he's back into the side. Alex Twall is back from concussion.
I haven't heard that one before.
South. He said South's back. And Jed Stewart makes his NRL debut replacing Civilio Tamale. Our mate, friend of the show, David Riccio, had posted an interview that he did with around Jed Stewart. It is a must-read through the Daily Telegraph. Well done to David Riccio in the Daily Telegraph. He also reports that Joe Tarpany was on the phone to Jed and informed him of making his debut, which I love because Jed comes out and says this. So easily Dad could have gone to him, but they've gone with the club captain, and what a player he is, Joe Tarpany, and he says this Jed, the debutant, who coincides with Sebastian Chris playing his 100th game in the National Rugby League. Jed Stewart says, Taps gave me the news, and so I quickly rang Mum. So he's spoken to Mum first, Kaylee, and she was on the 4th hole playing golf.
Oh, how good.
Yeah, he said, I walked into Dad's office and I saw him. He started to say congratulations, but then he just started to cry. That, you know what? This is good stuff. And some people will say nepotism, but let me tell you, he has made him work this.
Oh, no, this isn't nepotism.
No.
Like, Jed Stewart's been in the lower grades now for a couple of years. What a good story. I was thinking, like, I seen this, I don't know if it was yesterday, late last night, or I seen it on socials. It must have been Riccio on his Instagram page. So I was reading it, and it was like, I was thinking about, you know, like coaching and all that sort of stuff that comes with it. Geez, it'd be awesome to debut your kid. There'd be nothing better.
No.
Like, because debuting is the best thing that you can do. And then debuting, you know, it's not even about yourself. It's about your family and them getting to enjoy it with you. So to do it with your dad as the coach,
crazy,
will just be even more special. And he's about 23 years old now, Jed Stewart.
I think he's older, actually.
Yes, he's been in the system for a while, and they've got some young, exciting, emerging players down there. Hot Tamale, it looks like he's out for the season, is he?
Not out for the season,
he couldn't
for
make a return.
Way.
Albert Hopewadi goes down.
Yep.
So, you know, he's next man up, and congratulations to Jed. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I've seen him in a couple of trials already over the last couple of years, and bigger body, a bit bigger than Sticky too, a bit taller.
A bit Jack Bostocky.
Yeah, got a bit of Bostock about him. Yeah.
So Fletch said, "Oh, you sure he's his? He's that tall?" And then he said, "If he starts crow pecking people, you know it's his for sure." Big Jack Bostocky is what they say. He'll turn 24 on Sunday. Wow,
24 on Sunday.
Isn't that a good birthday week? So well done, Jed Stewart. And by the way, what an inspiration he is. It's another one of those stories where I heard this, and it's very true. So many people in life have aspirations, Scope, and so many who are pursuing it in any field. They climb towards that aspiration, and then unbeknownst to them, they're actually that close when they stop.
Yeah.
You know, so Jed Stewart at 24, just about 24.
It's that meme. You've seen that meme with he digging for gold, and it's two. There's, you know, one above the other, and they digging and digging and digging underground, and then one of them, you know, gives up, turns around, and the gold was just there.
Just there.
And the other one just keeps on digging, and that's what, you know, Jed Stewart's done. There's been heaps of journeymen that have done it as well. Sugar. I really resonate with it because I was a little bit older. I was 23 when I debuted as well. So I love guys in and around this age, or even more senior, that get the opportunity and continue to grind for it. So, yeah, they're my favourite stories, these ones.
So, Scopey, you, when most of the wave of your age group were playing first grade, which is around that 19-20 mark, you've been bouncing around playing second tier, 100 or so games.
Yeah, it would have been close. I don't know the exact number. It would have been between 50 to 100 for sure.
But definitely many days at cold training paddocks in the afternoon after work where you thought this dream's going to be over.
Yep.
And then you're playing in grand finals.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like that's the reason I really resonate with it. I remember the first year of Premier League. So the first year I played the last year of actual Premier League.
Yep.
You remember before it went to New South Wales Cup and they broke it up, and there was about 4 or 5 of us that were training with the Jersey Flag at the time. And then we would wait for the first graders to drop back. And there's so many guys that have, you know, gone through that journey as well. And it's not like the younger guys don't appreciate it at 18, 19 or 20, but you know, the guys are the journeymen like Jed Stewart with a strong family name as well.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people would assume nepotism when they're, you know, giving it to them younger. So, you know, how hard would it have been, you know, for Sticky at times, like, Jed's playing good. I've got to really make sure he's ready to go. when he gets his opportunity, out of maybe worrying about that. So maybe there's times where Jed could have played a year or two early and Sticky's like, you know what? Tamale, he comes off New South Wales Cup, one game of first grade last year. He's rewarded straight away. Now, he's an out-and-out talent, and it makes sense. But there would have been tough, decisions and conversations about whether I, put him in, and now's the perfect time. So I'm sure he'll play well tonight.
There'd be a long list scope of players where Ricky has chosen with opportunity above his own son, like Tamale, Xavier Savage. And
moving Chris to the wing
Chris
at
to
times.
the wing. There's a long list that he just keeps pushing his son aside where he might be going, come on, Dad, give me a crack. But this is what makes it special. Yeah. I'm a Tiger. I'm an absolute Tiger to the heart. But you know what? The human side of me and the dad part of me, go the Raiders. I hope Dad and son can have a cheer together. And as I said, I'm a Tiger, but come on, guys, we're human as well. This would be some kind of thing. 1300 01 1170. The Tigers have only won 2 games at home this season. Meanwhile, the Raiders have won their last 5 away games. There's some news floating around here, by the way. The full package. Michael Carianis writes this. Tallyn Da Silva negotiating with NRL rivals to leave the West Tigers. He has been given permission to negotiate with rival clubs immediately after interest from Newcastle. Da Silva was free to chat with rivals from November 1, but the move was fast-tracked following a surprise overture from the Knights. Newcastle originally looked to loan Da Silva for the rest of the season to help deal with their growing casualty ward in the forwards. Talks progressed to a potential immediate player swap between Da Silva and Kai Pearce-Paul. Both parties are considering this. So Tallyn Da Silva's agent has asked for and been granted for permission to speak with other clubs, not just the Knights. What do you make of that scope?
Yeah, we've sort of been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. I don't mind the idea of a trade window for players like this. It could work out best for both. It's a tricky situation with Da Silva. I heard about a week ago, or maybe a week and a half ago, it was reported that Benji, for obvious reasons, wants to keep Uppy Coruscant and extend him for a couple of years. Richardson was maybe in the Tallyn Da Silva mould because...
In the camp for Da Silva.
Is that right? And
they
were, I'd imagine... It's not one of those ones where you want to create a huge story about it. It makes more sense for Benji because he needs to win, right? He wants to win right now. Although he cares about the future of the Tigers, so much more is important for him is just getting results this year, especially when you've got an improved roster. But looking at it from Shane Richardson, if you're looking at Uppy Coruscant and his age, you're probably favouring a guy like Tallyn Da Silva. Now you also throw in the relationship with Tallyn Da Silva and Lockie Galvin, best mates.
Yep.
So has that affected the way that Tallyn Da Silva views his, I guess his career at the West Tigers, or does indeed he want to move on now because his best mate's been or has moved on? So very tricky little time for the Tigers. It's not even a tricky time. It feels like all these stories are always sort of around in and around the West Tigers, aren't they?
I hate talking about these stories because when I talk about them, the coach in question, it's a very precious world we live in rugby league. They don't talk now. But West Tigers are currently 1 game off the bottom of the ladder. Andrew Webster, who we'll catch up with shortly, he's from Morning Glory. He's going to be on tomorrow too for the kickoff on Saturday between 10 and 12. Spoke about the pressure Benji Marshall could be under if they get the wooden spoon again. Here's Webby this morning with Matthew Johns, Den and Kemp on Morning Glory.
Look, I've got no definitive mail on it, but I do think Benji was given this season to prove himself, and if they get a second wooden spoon, then that's going to be it's hard to keep him.
Because it's not just,
and I just think it was always. But to be honest, I always felt like he was set up for failure.
Yeah,
like it was so ridiculous from the last administration to put him into that position. You got to do some time. You know what I mean? Not just 1 year with Tim Sheens, which he did. Like you need more than that. You need to. It takes a long time to coach at that level.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good a player you were. It's a completely different beast. And for mine, like putting Benji in was the same as putting Tim Sheens in. It was all cosmetic to make the people in control of that club look better than they were.
What a tough vocation. It was only not so long ago where Toddy Payton's writing his Dally M Coach of the Year speech, and now he's under the Donald Trump as well. It is hard. It is really, really hard. So West Tigers fans, let us know your thoughts on Benji. Let us know your thoughts on Tallyn Da Silva.